Let's see here. So a few of you guys had some questions there. I'm going to go ahead and put this out there that you guys can wait until the helicopter gets done landing on my head. Flying over it. There it is. Got this going now simultaneously on both the rescue page and my personal page, guys, so bear with me. I'm going to try to keep up with any questions and stuff that happen. In the past, I've noticed that I don't always get to actually see them as they come in live, so if I don't answer your question or if I don't address you directly, please just bear with me, and I will go back after we're done and go over some of those and answer them, type in some responses there for you guys. Just bear with me. Oh, it's two different devices, Alicia. That's why. All right, so most of you guys know that we, with MMK9, started this process a week ago, or a little over a week ago. We're at about a week and a half now, and APA, Awesome Pets Alive, put out the call for people to help with transporting animals out of potentially affected areas so that the local shelters could clear space in order to allow for those animals that were inevitably going to be displaced by the storms to have somewhere to go. Obviously, things got a little out of hand. Harvey decided to be a bigger bastard, pardon my language, than anybody really expected, and a week and a half later, here we are in Katy. A lot's changed, and a lot hasn't, really. So, where are we at right now? Operations here in Katy are fixing to start wrapping up. Awesome Pets Alive will be moving from this location. Plan is tomorrow. They will be going to the NRG Center, last I heard, where they will link up with Best Friends and continue operations for a few more weeks, with the intent to eventually transition that completely to local resources, and I believe they are planning on bringing in a Houston staff in order to go ahead and man that alongside Best Friends. Of course, the whole point there being to allow as many animals as possible to stay here locally that were displaced after the storms started, so that they can be reunited with their families. Most of the active rescue operations that are still occurring are over in the Orange and Beaumont area, Port Arthur. There's a lot of damage, a lot of stuff still going on over there. Some of the logistics guys asked me to come out and run point or assist with running point out there. Unfortunately, the world didn't stop turning, and bills still have to be paid, and my clients have been ever so gracious to allow me to keep pushing them back and rescheduling so that I could continue to work and assist with everything that's been going on out here, and I just can't get away with doing that any longer. I do have my responsibilities back home. Fortunately, there are plenty of amazing people and organizations here in the area now, both local resources, local individuals, local organizations, as well as those that came in from other areas, like Best Friends. They're based out of Utah, and they're here. We just had some folks driving from Arizona. They came all the way over here from Arizona bringing supplies for, apparently they've got a group of folks that are already here. They're actually fixing to drive by me, so I'm going to try to turn the cameras around so that you guys can see them as they do. You'll understand why I want you to see it when they roll by here in just a second. It's a pretty cool little rig they've got set up here. It's also going to get a little bit loud because they're driving a diesel and they're literally going to be feet away from us. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip the cameras around real quick and let you guys check out what they've got. Their little rig here. And they've stopped. They must be camera shy. I'm gonna show you anyway. So I know that these are the front cameras, so you may be having some difficulty seeing or reading what it says there, but they've got this stuff all around there. Do you need me to help you back it up?
No, I just want to make sure you could get out. This truck can get out.
Oh, I can get out anywhere. Except the water, apparently.
I think I'm gonna pull back and then
Nah.
right next to their generator.
Yeah, they're gonna be trying to load some stuff up there too, so.
Well, if you were trying to get right next to the motorcycle on this side, and I'm like, well, when I pulled out the generator, it's right next to where we sleep.
I got you.
So I was like, that's
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I know I told you I wasn't going to be moving the camera around a whole bunch, but if you got any headaches, sorry. I'm not a professional photographer or filmmaker, and it's really just not my thing. So take some ibuprofen. Call me in the morning. That is my thing. There we go. And we'll move it again. I'm going to show you guys. Help Houston, Tucson, Houston relief team. Sorry, I'll continue in just a second. Maybe. Or 10 seconds. I don't math so well right now. Okay, so back to the announcement at hand. Right, we're backing up again. Stand by, guys. Can't wait. I'm doing a video here, guys. I'm doing a video. Can we keep her moving, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you so much. I'm sure. There we go. Cool. All right. Awesome. Have a little conversation. Awesome. Love it. Making friends. Can we make friends with the diesel? Not right here, though. Awesome. Love you guys. There's some really cool people, though. I just showed them around and gave them kind of the lowdown on what's been going on. So now that I've done that, let's get you guys caught up to speed. For those of you not familiar with the way disaster and or emergency response stuff like this works, forgive me if you all have been through this and seen this kind of stuff before. And for those who may not, I'm going to just quickly, there's basically two major phases of the way that this works. We've got the initial emergency response, the preparation stuff, and then getting into that initial rapid response, getting stuff, boots on the ground, and getting resources in play. That's going to be fine. There won't be anybody coming through there. She went that way. Which is where we got started, right? So we were trying to get animals out of here, and then we set up the initial emergency operations center here with APA and the other organizations that were involved. Katie's Roadside Rescue, God's Dogs, Safe Canine Transports was here as well, and did a lot of great things, all of them. Okay. Now we are moving more into the, at least for this area of Houston, we're moving more into the second phase, which is the more recovery and then getting into the rebuilding type stuff. Okay, so the tent city and intake emergency stuff that we've been doing here in this particular location is no longer needed, which is why APA is going to be moving their stuff into that more long-term type of a deal at the NRG Center with Best Friends. The Beaumont Center, the Beaumont area, the Ford Center, is currently under Houston SPCA, and they did a lot of good things when they came in. They got some organization. The reports that I've got from members of Best Friends, mind you, as well as others, from before they came in, was that there was total anarchy and chaos because nobody was able to fully and completely get the volunteers and everything completely in order, and nobody had the resources to do that. So there's definitely some good things that happened with them coming in there. I've already addressed the rumors and stuff. I'm not going to touch those again. That's, if honestly, either you want to believe the tinfoil stuff or you don't. I don't care. Just, you guys have already made it more difficult than it needed to be for us on the ground. Those of you that wanted to go that route. And while I understand the concerns and definitely want to make sure that we hold all the organizations involved out here accountable, there's a very, very big difference between expressing concerns and holding the screws to them to make sure that they are answering questions and doing what's right for the animals, and then trying to... Is that diesel coming through too loud on y'all's end? Can y'all hear me good? No response, I'm going to assume means you can't hear me. But I'm getting a lot of likes and loves over here, so maybe you can't hear me. Someone holler at me if it's an issue. Big difference between holding the screws to them and holding them accountable, and create fear-mongering and walking into a military-controlled situation and trying to order people around. Sorry, you don't have the stripes for it. You sure as hell don't have the bars or the stars for it. Okay. Great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I don't know if that's what happened. The information that I'm getting suggests that there were some volunteers that were attempting to kind of manhandle their way through. I don't know who that might have been, but when dealing with governmental agencies who don't have to let you be there, you got to go with a little bit softer approach, in my experience. Follow that up with rumors and craziness, and you wind up with a very difficult situation for the rest of us to be able to walk into and help out with. The day that everybody got locked out, I had 15 vehicles full of supplies with enough room for 300 animals to come out of there and go to where they needed to be. Had to turn them around because we couldn't make contact with the folks that we had on the ground, and we were hearing that they were potentially getting kicked out. I had no way to verify one way or the other, so it was a 6-hour drive. I had to turn them around. I recognize the fact that the video that I did the other day at the center was pretty quick and pretty choppy. I was in a hurry because I had medical supplies that needed to be delivered, I had animals that needed to be taken care of, and frankly the video was just an ad hoc, let me throw this out there since I'm here and people want the information. Every animal that I saw, while some were admittedly in somewhat of a distressed state, presumably because of the heat, every animal was being cared for that I saw. Every animal that I saw was being walked, was being cleaned after, was receiving food, water, and medical attention as necessary. They had multiple vets on staff. Some were associated with SPCA, some were associated with HSPCA, some were associated with ASPCA. The whole alphabet soup was there. Let me tell you, it is very difficult to keep secrets if you have more than one person in on the secret. It is goddamn impossible to keep secrets if you have 15 different people from 15 different places with 15 different ideals and values and belief sets, all operating and doing the same things. There is no way to do it. Can't be done. So, I said I wasn't going to address the rumors. I addressed the rumors. I'm a liar. Sorry. Moving right along. Obviously, that's a bit of a frustrating situation there. So now we are moving operations. The active rescue operations are moving to the Port Arthur and Orange area. They went and set up a new base of operations in Orange today and are calling for supplies there. I will be returning to San Antonio tomorrow in order to be able to take care of my clients, make sure that my bills can get paid, and make sure that my clients get the care and attention that they deserve for the money that they are paying me to help them out. And then possibly coming back this weekend. That's not a given yet, but what I am for sure going to be doing is helping to run logistics from there. There is an app that we've been using out here that allows for us to communicate with everybody, and that's kind of where a lot of our logistics and routing information has been coming from, where we've been getting a lot of the dispatch stuff and where we've been able to send stuff through. So I will be joining up with the logistics team on there to assist with that stuff, because everybody is trying to get back to work as much as possible as well. How do people find their animals? How do people get in touch with them? Honestly, there were so many animals that came through, both here, well, from here and then from all of the other places, that they are still cataloging and trying to get those systems set up and in place to make that work. The information that was put out previously regarding microchips, no microchips, that kind of thing was not accurate. Doesn't matter if your animal was microchipped or not microchipped. If there was a possibility that it was owned, it was put into a situation. It was taken either to Austin Pets Alive initially, where they were being separated out by whether they were shelter or potentially owned animals, or once Best Friends got set up, they've been going out to Conroe there, and that's where all the strays or potentially owned animals were going. So the way that worked was, if it came from a shelter prior to the incident, it was in the shelter prior to the incident, they were, I'm sorry, Kevin, but that's actually incorrect. Stand by, and I'm explaining for you right now how that is going to work for you. Okay? Give me just a second, buddy. If they were in a shelter prior to the incident, they were marked as such, and those animals were available for adoption. They'd already cleared their stray holds. If those animals entered the shelter or entered this system anytime after the incident happened, they were assumed displaced and therefore assumed stray for a stray hold. Best Friends has committed to a minimum of 30-day stray holds. APA is, to my knowledge, I do not, by the way, disclaimer, I do not work for APA. I have been getting all of my information directly from their executive director, however, and I believe that they have also committed to a minimum of 30-day stray holds for any animals that they happen to retain possession of through that. But it is my understanding as well that they are attempting to get those animals back into Best Friends care, and Austin, the city of Austin, is supposed to be coordinating as well with the city of Houston and those here locally to be able to make stuff like that happen as well. The ultimate goal being to get those animals back to their homes. No animals that were displaced during this time period that came through this EOC or came through APA are being shipped out anywhere. The only animals that came through here that were allowed to go anywhere other than to be held in a facility for owners to come and try to find them were those that were already cleared of a stray hold prior to the incident. Let me repeat that. The only animals that have left were animals that had already cleared their stray holds prior to the incident, and all other animals were considered displaced and are being held on stray for a minimum of 30 days. It is my understanding as well that that is going to probably be a longer time period than 30 days, but it is a minimum of 30 days. There were some that got intermingled at one point, so all of those 150 or 200 animals, even though only 5 were potentially intermingled, are now currently sitting on stray hold, waiting until either paperwork can be verified on an individual animal and then it gets moved into a non-stray, and so all of those animals are being double checked and triple checked. That's part of what's slowing things down with trying to get a system up in place. Yes, Michael, the HSPCA committed to a 30-day hold before the dogs got shipped out. They got shipped out to HSPCA here locally and or to Conroe here locally so that they can be held on their 30-day stray holds. Where does that leave us right now? With a big mess to clean up and a whole lot of animals that are available for adoption, but a huge system that is overwhelmed and overtaxed with them. Most, if not all of those animals, most of those animals ended up with no-kill organizations. HSPCA is, as we know, not exactly a no-kill organization, but again, they have committed to the 30-day hold. Michael, you just said that they did that on video. And Best Friends even put that out on their blog post about it as well. So we've got at least 30 days to figure out something to do with those animals that we know are likely to be in danger under the care of HSPCA. After the 30 days, don't you go taking a sound bite out of this and trying to misquote me, any of you guys. So how can we help now? A lot of these places are good on resources only insofar as some of the smaller towns have no place to store food and some of these other things because you've got rats and things, and stuff was completely destroyed. You know, buildings are gone and all of that. We've got guys coming in here from out of town, out of state. Like I said, we've got Arizona just came through. We got Gunner's Wheels is here from Wisconsin. They're heading down to Alvin tomorrow. We took down about $80,000 worth of medical supplies to the Southern Brazoria County shelter, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It was in Lake Jackson. And we got them stocked up as best as we can. They're in just as big a crisis mode as everybody else here, but they're holding out, and everybody is doing really well. How can we help from out of state? How can we help locally? If you want to pull dogs, find a local rescue that's willing to refill those spaces and pull their current inventory, so that we can go and pull the dogs that need to stay here locally, and give them the shot at being reunited, rather than having them stay in the shelter. At some point, And then APA is already is already doing this. They are working with approved rescue partners to move dogs out that have already cleared stray holds. Hate that I have to keep saying that. Animals that had already cleared are being shipped out to some places if there are rescues that want them. They are going through an extensive process of making sure that those animals have documentation showing that they were in that shelter for a period of time prior to, and that they have already cleared stray holds. You guys are going to be saying this in your sleep, because I'm not going to stop repeating it. Sorry, I'm reading a comment there. The reason behind the 30 days was to give displaced owners time to find their pets and relocate. Keep in mind 30 days is a fluid number. Let's hope they agree to a longer hold periods. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. It is my understanding, again, that Best Friends intends to stick around a little bit longer. I don't speak for them, but that is the kind of rumor that I have no problem with helping perpetuate a little bit there. Sorry, let's get rid of that there. All right. That is a rumor that's not going to get anybody killed. That is my understanding, based on information received from within the organization, from sources that I trust. Pull animals from rescues that are already full. Provide resources for rescues that are here on the ground. We've got tons of local rescues that are not large groups like APA or even Best Friends or Houston Pets Alive that are swimming in dogs and cats, way more than we're used to, and supplies are running short for a lot of folks in that regard. You know, when you're used to dealing with 20 animals and all of a sudden you're trying to handle 100 with your fosters and your whatever sheltering facility that you have available to you, it gets crazy quick. So support your local rescues here. Well, our local rescues. If you're local, great. Support the local rescues here. And help us clear our inventory so that we can continue to pull the animals out of the sheltering system to hold here, so that owners can hopefully be reunited. Now, that is the hands down best way that you can help this situation right now. If you have special skills that may make you useful here on the ground, vets, vet techs, search and rescue, search and recovery, military experience, those kinds of things can be helpful in this environment, over an orange. That's not where we're at here at this point anymore. That's not to say that we don't need more hands available. There's going to be a lot of rebuilding to do and all of that stuff as well. Right now, Best Friends is using one of the facial recognition software apps to catalog the animals. I believe that is going to end up being their plan or process for trying to get people reunited. And I'm not sure how Houston SPCA is doing it. I know that APA is probably going to be, or the city of Austin, I'm not sure which one of them is actually going to be controlling that over there, but I think that their plan is to try to do something a little bit more comprehensive that doesn't necessarily require you to be able to use an app, or, shoot, one of the guys on my team this week has a flip phone. He lives in LA. Okay, not everybody has a smartphone to be able to go through the apps there. So there's going to be something else going on with that. There's going to be other ways to do that there. Beyond that, I honestly can't give you any more information on what the system is going to be, but I can tell you that there are no animals leaving that may potentially have owners until at least 30 days from now. No animals that have not cleared stray hold are leaving this area. Yeah, Michael, that's my understanding as well, that they've got the facial recognition, and then they're also going to have a website up there. One of the groups that I was working with today to get those medical supplies out as well Four Paws Ranch, I believe is the name. I'm sorry, I'm really, really bad with names. I believe it's Four Paws Ranch. We're going to work on setting up some kind of shuttling system as well for anybody that needs to go from here to Austin to look for their animals, that kind of thing. We are working on the logistics of making that happen and being able to do that without having to, without those owners having to incur any costs for the transportation from from where they live to wherever it is that's going to be. There's nothing solid about that yet, so bear with us while we try to make that happen. As far as where we're at, where MMK9's at, where I'm at, a few of you have asked how I'm doing. I'm doing all right. I'm obviously a little tired, a little ragged, and frankly, I would really love to get a good night's sleep, so I'm hoping I can actually make that happen tonight. I know this is going on pretty long here, guys, but we're going to wrap up here pretty soon. Where's the truck and trailer? We were able to recover the truck and trailer. There was a really awesome volunteer here who repacked the bearings and redid everything on the trailer for me so that was able to be used here for some local operations and kind of transporting some of the resources around to where they needed to go. The truck is functioning, and I'm going to have the mechanic take a look at it tomorrow to see. Apparently it's bedtime. Gonna have the mechanic looking at it tomorrow, hopefully, to kind of take a look and see where it's at. Now, here's the thing. I have very high standards of safety for what I do with cross-country transports, and that truck could barely handle. It's only a 1 quarter-ton pickup truck. It's a 1500 Dodge 1500. It could barely handle pulling the load through the mountains. Heck yes, Snoopy survived. It could barely handle the pull through the mountains as it was, and I don't care if we rebuilt the engine or put a new one in there. I would never feel comfortable putting that truck on that trailer and trying to pull it through the mountains ever again. In order to, there's way too many lives at risk on there for me to feel comfortable ever doing that again. But yes, we were able to recover it and get it out of there, and I don't recall who exactly. I believe it was Bev Hines linked me up with someone who was gracious enough to loan me a truck for the last few days, which I've been using to pull the trailer that Patricia Godkin, thank you, loaned me to be able to have a place to sleep. Awesome. You guys have been amazing with that. And we've been going non-stop trying to get these resources and supplies out of here. Snoopy's alive, all my pups are alive, I'm alive, and we're going to be heading back to San Antonio very soon. Does anyone have any additional questions regarding the operations and what is going on here in the area? I'm going to give you guys a few moments to kind of toss those out there, and if not, then I'm going to go ahead and close down that aspect of this, and we can fill you in on some other stuff. I know there's a little bit of a delay between these videos actually coming through there. I haven't seen any of you guys over on the MMK9 side asking questions. No one has any questions over there. That's fine. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something. Again, I've never actually done a live from that page, so if I did miss your question, because I'm not seeing anything come up, then I will address that later. I'll come back and write you out a response there. Is the water going down fast? It's actually been a really surreal experience over here with the water, honestly. 3 days ago, 2 miles down the road that way on I-10, we were caught in traffic. There wasn't traffic, but they were literally running active rescue operations for humans to be taken by boat from their apartments to the side of the highway, and they were launching boats over the concrete barriers in order to make that happen. So yes, the water is receding fairly quickly in some places. There's still certain neighborhoods, though, that are still underwater, and I think part of that comes down to the issue of the levees and releasing floodwaters and all of that stuff in order to try to get things down a little bit quicker. So I think that's it. It's actually really remarkable how quickly things, how quickly the water went down in a lot of places, though. Is Irma expected to affect us over here? It is my understanding that Irma is supposed to be hitting the outside of Florida and not coming into the Gulf. As long as she stays out there, I think Texas is probably going to be okay, but our friends over in Louisiana may need a little bit of assistance from us here in a few weeks from the additional flooding that's going to occur there. Rescue community, one rescue asked for dogs from the hurricane. Is there any press release from APA? Okay, sorry, I'll read that out for you guys. Is there any press release from APA or other rescues to explain that those animals need to stick around? I can't see the whole thing, but I'm gonna assume that says that they need to stick around here in the area. Charlie, feel free to pop in there and let me know if that's what you were asking. As far as I know at this time, I don't know that there was a press release out about it, but all of the information from APA can be found at austinpetsalive.org. I'll put that in the description. I don't know where it's going to be. Is it up there? It's down there? I don't know. I'll put that in the description of this video when I finish up. But I know that they are actively asking for and vetting rescue groups to help out with the animals that have already cleared stray holds. Let's see here. Snoopy survived, yes. Snoopy made it, yes. Awesome, great stuff. Thank you guys for asking. For those who don't know the story of Snoopy, Snoopy was given to me by Sarah Smith before my first transport, which she was a part of, and Snoopy has been with me on every transport since. Tammy, the trailer is okay. I would not feel comfortable in its current condition to use for a long cross-country transport. The entire braking system needs to be redone, which the last time I did it cost me about $1,500. All of the decking needs to be redone, so all of the floorboards, all of the undercarriage insulation is completely gone, or most of it is, and all of those boards are waterlogged, so they need to be completely redone. We're looking at about, just based on that, not even including structural or mechanical, we're looking at about $3,500 to get that thing back up and running in a condition that would pass safety checks for me to be going cross country with it. That trailer on its own was only $5,000 to begin with. So I'm looking at options. My mechanic actually had a truck and trailer both for sale that I think I can get a really good deal on if I can get the money together for it. Aside from donations, I know how can people help? I know I said that taking animals. If you can't take animals, honestly, it's going to be a lot about it's going to be about manpower. It's going to be about manpower. These folks are going to need a lot of help rebuilding all of this stuff. Less so as far as the destruction goes here than from what I saw in Port Arthur. But again, in Port Arthur and Port Aransas and Corpus Christi, that area, not Port Arthur. I'm sure Port Arthur too, but the waters are still up and we can't see that, what the actual damage is going to end up being. They are going to need a lot of that here in some places. I mean, downtown Houston was completely underwater for days. And several of these homes were completely underwater up to the roofs for days. A lot of that I haven't been able to see because, again, the rescue operations were taking me into other places. But manpower is the short answer there for you. food to donate. They are out of California and ready to help. Tara Hooks, I'm not 100% positive what you're saying there, and that could just be the fact that I am bloody exhausted, but I assume you're wondering where that food can go. Best Friends is still accepting all donations because they are going to be here for a while. So they are accepting food donations and all of that stuff, medical supplies and everything. They are currently in Conroe at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. They will be coming here to the Energy Center, I believe. I don't know if they're moving the whole operation, but I assume they are, with APA. Also, the forward operating base being set up in Orange is, last I heard, requesting all available supplies that they can get, because they are setting up completely from scratch just like we did here, and they just started setting that up today. What's going on with the 100 Chihuahuas that were taken in? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Shauna Perry. Feel free to send me a PM and I can try to dig into it for you. I need a little bit more details than 100 Chihuahuas. I expect there's been a whole lot more than 100 Chihuahuas that were taken in at some point, so I assume you're talking about a specific situation there. Please send me a PM and I'll try to take a look at it. Let's see here. Charlie, APA, HSPCA, etc. notifying rescues in other cities to not request displaced dogs and request cleared pets instead. As far as I know, APA is not allowing you to request what you want. If you want to help out, then unless you're a breed-specific rescue, you need to be taking your fair share of everything, is my understanding of the way that they're working that. Charlie, any additional questions? Try to keep them to one sentence or less. For some reason, I can't see more than that. It's giving me a little ellipsis at the end, and it won't let me see the whole thing. So the second half of that question, I've seen one rescue in El Paso request hurricane affected, and that's all I've got. So I'll see if there's anything if you clarify that after the fact. Please start over. Katie Boggs, you want me to start over with everything? I'll be happy to fill you in, Katie. If you want to give me a call or just watch the video from the start when we finish up. I'm not going to go all the way back through everything on here, though. I don't think everybody needs or wants to see all of that. But I'm more than happy. You've got my number. Give me a call. Just got into Dallas with a truck. Where do you think the greatest need for me is? Is that truck with supplies? The greatest need for volunteers and stuff is going to be over in the Orange area where we've been where I've been talking about. Be advised, that is an area that I would wear Kevlar to. Last I heard, there were reports of shooting. I could be mistaken at this time. They may have resolved that at this point. We love you, Sarah. Fundraiser time. We do actually have an active fundraiser for the truck and trailer. That was based on the truck and trailer that I found that my mechanic has, that would allow us actually to increase our capacity for transport. And I did link up with a couple of folks that are very interested in assisting, and that I've been working with this entire week, that I know are trustworthy to be able to drive and assist with the dogs. So if they are willing to and able to jump on board with that, then we can actually expand back out to the 2 runs a month that we were doing before, and start moving some more dogs out of here. So that's one of the reasons too why I'm wanting to increase that capacity there. But that active fundraiser, if you guys are interested, is on our You Caring page. There's a link to it in the original post about having lost the truck and trailer. Again, to be clear, we did recover both the truck and trailer, but it would, in my opinion, and again, I'll have my mechanic look at it, and be too expensive to get it into the condition that I would feel comfortable going through mountain passes with a trailer load of dogs, with that. I mean, there's just a lot of the entire safety system needs to be looked over on both vehicles: brakes, the engine, transmission on the truck, the braking system, and again all of the physical repairs that need to be done to the trailer. Love to have something with sleeping quarters. Yeah, me too. I mean, I do all right in the bed of the. I mean, in the bed of the truck. The bed of the truck. I need sleep. Speaking of sleep, in the back of the truck, I do. I mean, I stop. You guys know every night around midnight and get some sleep. Usually when I'm on the road by myself, or else if I've got someone with me, then I just sleep while they drive. Oh, thank you guys so much for all of your support and help there. Okay, Katie, I thought you probably were, but I wasn't sure. Again, sleep, thank you. They are moving efforts from Vidor Orange area to Port Aransas due to contaminated water. Rescues are ill in hospital and all rescues are suspended due to Zello. Yeah, Zello's an issue in some ways, yes. Last I heard, however, Kara, was that we were setting up in Orange. If that has changed in the last 2 hours, I'd love to get that info. I will jump onto the logistics channel on Zello and find out what's going on as soon as I'm done with this, just to check in and look for an update on that. If that has changed, I will put it in the description of this video to update that. But as of right now, as far as I know, which again, that's been 2 hours since I was last on the channel checking things out and speaking with our logistics personnel, that's what it was. Per Zello, not due to. Yeah, there actually was some issues with Zello because of folks not wanting to comply with laws and doing some rescues that were not exactly above board, which I'm all for getting the animals out, but there are ways, I think, to do that without putting yourselves or the entire operation at risk. Where can I find the fundraiser for the truck and trailer? I'll go ahead and put it in the description of this for you. That's wasn't the purpose here, but since you're asking, I will put it in the description there. Are you seeing trucks coming from Utah? Just brought back 160 dogs and cats, but so many more in need. They're coming back for more. I'm not sure what organizations those might have come from, but I do know that all the municipal shelters and all of that are working with, are complying with the pre-disaster stray hold issue. So no animals that have not cleared stray hold are, to my knowledge, being transported out of this area. So that would be anything that I've had my hands on, or any operation here that I've had my hands on or had my eyes on, is not doing that. While we're manifesting things, are we manifesting dolphins? I can't see what that is there, Elisha. Or is that a plane? I'm going to assume contextually by the rest of that sentence that you're talking about a plane. I do not have a pilot's license, but I'm down. So Zello, Karen, is an app that I was trying not to put out on here, actually, because I didn't want the whole world to jump on there and start clogging up our logistics lines. But Zello is the app that we've been using to communicate. It's basically a data-based walkie-talkie that allows us to communicate in real time as we would with a walkie-talkie, but through the cell towers and data links that way. Cara Harmon coming with Ashley tomorrow. Okay, awesome. If you guys get here before I leave, I'd love to say hi and see what's going on with you guys. I'd love to meet you, Cara, if I haven't already. I'm horrible with names. I know I've met Ashley, though. Doctors checking and decontaminating rescues have been in water within 72 hours. Okay. Alright, I will double check again, like I said. Be able to drive my trailer back, or do I need to go get it? Patricia, your trailer is going to be coming back with me, and I'll be driving it with this. I sent Alicia home with mine. I think I got a call from her earlier, so she made it alive and in one piece. Leanne Paws from Utah. I'm not familiar with any organization named Paws in Utah, but if you want to reach out to them and find out where they got the dogs from, I can look into it from that. But beyond that, I don't honestly have any information there. No. It's fine. It's freely available information, Cara. It's okay that we got it out there. I personally was not going to put it out there over the air like this. It's not a problem at all. Houston area runs out of dogs. There are plenty of kill shelters all over Texas. That is very, very true. Very true. I'm in Katy, truck and trailer safe at Katie's place. The other Katy, the person Katy, not city Katy. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now if y'all don't have any other questions, because obviously I'm starting to get delirium setting in. I'll be touching base, keeping you guys updated as such as I am able anyway, as things progress and continue on. And like I said, I'll be helping to run some of the logistics stuffs through Zello and everything from back home. And if necessary, I am prepared to return these boots to this ground and get shit done. 30-day stray holds. Yes. No dogs who have not cleared their 30-day stray hold will be leaving this area. Thanks, Kevin. Alright. Until all the cages are empty, guys, we'll catch you next time.